Ladies and gentlemen, the future of personal flight doesn't always look like a fighter jet. Sometimes it looks like a sleek black cricket. On this episode, we're going to talk about the Pivotal Helix, an electric vertical take-off and landing eVTOL aircraft that promises to turn your backyard into a helipad. It's the kind that makes you wonder whether your next family road trip could be as simple as strapping on a helmet and hitting go. Before you strap in, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Watching my videos is free, unlike trying to explain to your spouse why you just put a deposit down on an electric aircraft. The story of the Helix begins with engineer-pilot Marcus Leng, who built his first electric flying machine and attracted investment from Google CA founder Larry Page. His company Opener developed a series of ultralight prototypes culminating in the Blackfly, a one-seat craft that could lift off vertically and fly like a winged drone, because FAA Part 103 rules exempt ultralights from requiring a pilot's license. Opener could sell directly to consumers if it kept weight and speed low. The Helix is the fourth-generation evolution of that concept. When it launched, Opener rebranded as Pivotal. By the time Pivotal unveiled the Helix in late 2023, the personal eVTOL landscape had evolved. Multi-rotor flying cars were appearing online, but Pivotal took a different path. It would sell craft directly to individuals who complete company training to meet Part 103 limits. The Helix's empty weight is kept within ultralight rules by counting the airframe separately from the battery. The aircraft retains Opener's tandem wing, tilt body design, two narrow wings with 4 motors each that rotate as one unit for vertical takeoff and forward flight. Owners can fly in Class G airspace without a license, provided they stay away from busy airports and congested areas. Well, would anyone want to fly an eVTOL instead of a plane or helicopter? The Helix promises simplicity. It has no tail rotor, no swash plate, and no electric motors, and their propellers has handle leash, and propulsion. Monitors every component and can tolerate multiple failures. If all else fails, a ballistic parachute can deploy to bring the aircraft safely to the ground. Pivotal's user interface is as simple as an iPad. A glass cockpit shows power levels, altitude and pitch, and a smartphone app provides pre-flight checklists. The cabin is enclosed by a redesigned canopy to keep wind and rain out, and there are updated digital electronics and autopilot features. In short, the Helix is meant for people who love the idea of flying, but don't want to memorize the NACA 65 series airfoil tables. Timmy is convinced that autopilot means he can nap mid-flight. I keep reminding him that a ballistic parachute is not an excuse for napping. Technically, the Helix is impressive for its size. Each wing has 4 rotors. The entire airframe tilts as one unit to transition from vertical lift to forward flight. According to eVTOL News, the Rouge aircraft cruises at about 63 miles per hour, 101 kilometers per h, and can climb at 500 feet per minute. Its 8 kW battery pack powers the motors and provides a practical range of 20 miles, 32 kilometers. The battery can be swapped in the field and recharged using a level 2 charger in under 2 hours. Pivotal claims a 1-hour turnaround with the optional level 3 pack. The Helix's maximum takeoff weight is 568 pounds, 258 kilograms, allowing a useful payload of about 220 pounds, 100 kilograms. For comparison, Bob's conspiracy theory library weighs more than that. Physically, the aircraft measures roughly 13 feet 7 long by 13 feet 5 in wide by 5 feet 3 in high, so it can fit in a large garage. The cockpit is single seat, with a joystick and throttle on either side. The digital flight deck uses triple redundant sensors to calculate attitude and manage transitions. 3 computers run in parallel. If one fails, the others voted out. There is no landing gear per SA. The fuselage rests on its belly, reinforced by skid pads. Pivotal claims the aircraft has passed vibration, wind and fatigue. Testing, the prototypes have logged thousands of flights. Design is what sets the Helix apart. This isn't just a quadcopter with a seat bolted on. The whole body tilts as a single unit. 8 motors and propellers are mowed down to resemble a dragonfly's wings. The carbon fiber structure keeps weight down, and the battery sits low in the fuselage to maintain a stable center of gravity. Engineers built in redundancy, computers and sensors cross-check each other, and a ballistic parachute is there to save the day if anything fails. Pivotal's design philosophy is to make flying as intuitive as driving, so you push in a joystick to climb or turn, and the flight computer quietly does the math. It feels more like piloting a glider than a helicopter. Timmy calls it a flying PlayStation controller. Bob says it looked like the love child of a drone and a kayak. We just think it's an elegant solution to a tricky engineering problem. In a market full of flashy videos of multicopters, the Helix occupies an interesting slot. Lift Hexa is basically a manned drone with 18 rotors. It hovers effortlessly but can't slice through the air like a fixed-to wing. At around $190,000 for the base package, with a $50,000 deposit and training thrown in, the Helix costs more than a sports car but less than most helicopters. Upgrades add faster chargers and extra batteries. The company is already teasing a family of larger Class 2 and Class 3 variants with multi-hour endurance and heavier payloads. While big names like Joby and Archer pursue certified air taxis for cities, Pivotal's strategy is to stay under Part 103, deliver something enthusiasts can fly now, and then grow to slowly. We think the Helix is a bold step toward democratizing vertical flight. It distills a decade of R&D into you could park and fly over open fields with minimal bureaucracy. A range of 20 miles and a 20-minute endurance mean it won't replace your car, and a 6-figure price means it's a toy for the well-heeled. But every revolution starts with a niche. The Helix shows that eVTOLs don't have to be giant sky buses to make an impact. If the larger models deliver on their promises of 2 seats, multi-hour endurance and hundreds of kilos of payload, we could see Helix platforms fighting fires or delivering supplies to remote areas. Until then, this is a conversation starter, a collector's piece, and a dream for pilots who want their own tiny aircraft that behaves like a video game. Timmy says he wants to fly one to the pub. Bob is convinced it will attract UFOs. We can't vouch for either claim, but we're excited to see where Pivotal go next.